a hella bash. Tune in and check out the podcast. We got the nerd button on repeat and we're gonna smash. Come on in and I can show you that we're open. Shoe polish on our signs cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew? You know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bring in all the big guns when we coming through. Welcome to the stage. Come on, enjoy the taste. Hurry up, don't come in late. You know we love it the sacred thing.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Live from the Secret Stash. I'm one of 3 excellent gentlemen here today. Christian Cortez, joined always by...
I am Michael Zapsik. Thank you so much for that lovely intro, Christian Cortez. Yeah. And we have a very special guest host.
We do.
And we were just nerding out. That's why we're going a little bit late. Because we were nerding out.
Literally, we were a couple minutes late.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the podcast table...
Joe Bodnar.
Hey, how you doing?
Man?
I didn't want to step on him, but
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're awesome. It's so good to have you on, man.
Great to have you.
And it's always a pleasure to see you.
Yes, pleasure to see you guys too.
I know that I've seen you because we're going to be doing some stuff together eventually, but I think the last time everybody saw you was probably Kevin's big auction.
Yeah, I think so.
Your own auction work.
Yeah, I think so. That was back in January, I guess. So it was
Don't
about
tell me
half a year.
moving that quickly.
Yeah,
Time is moving very quickly.
Yeah, no, that was January when we did the Smodcast auction, and that was a fantastic event. I had a great time with that. That was a lot of fun.
Oh my god! So if you actually go on, I don't know if you go on Twitter at all, but like someone. When I posted that you were going to be a guest today, someone had posted a clip from Smauctions.
Really?
And it's you doing the awesome auctioneering bit, and Kevin's there just.
Which is kind of that's like you're like, I don't know how to feel about it.
You don't know how to look at this.
Because Kevin's like in love with it, but you're like, wait a minute, you know what? Do you and Joe's voice want to be alone for a couple of minutes?
That was how it was. It was
like,
great.
Hey.
See, my favorite though from up above was when he would be like, "Wait, say this with that."
Yeah. No, and I think what was best about that, like when we did his actual sale of his comic book art, and the first time I laid it out, we sold the first item, and I was like 1,000, 750, 800, 900, 1,000, and he got done, and he was just like, oh my God. He totally threw me back, and then the whole sale went that way, So it was that was a lot of fun. There was no question about it.
Look, I think you're the first like auctioneer in person I'd ever seen somebody actually do the voice.
Right.
The voice meaning like the speed numbers and stuff like that. How does one learn that?
Boy, learning that's a great question. As a matter of fact, we just went on a house call and they asked me the same question, but I self-taught myself. And really what happened, I was working for an auction company and I used to hold up merchandise and hold up furniture. And I used to mimic the auctioneer and I'd be back there 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 5. And he's like, man, you sound really good. And he gave me some exercises as far as how to auctioneer and start doing numbers forwards and backwards by 5s and do it backwards, which is hard when you really think about 195, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70 and going backwards like that and doing an exercise like that. And I really taught myself and he put me up. I was scared shitless. I think I fucked up the numbers big time. And then, boom, I was born. I mean, that was really the deal.
I have one question about that.
Yes.
When you first were like mimicking him, were you doing it in sort of a wise ass way? Were you like, hey, swing, he can, swing,
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if I was mimicking him or not in a bad way.
Okay.
But I think I was just chirping in his ear maybe to
That's pretty awesome.
to do it,
Yeah.
And I was very fascinated by the whole business. It is
utterly fascinating, especially people who use the spoken word as, I speak extemporaneously, not for a living, but, on here, Christian, I know you are the voice of God sometimes. So
yeah, sometimes I'll chime in, but like it was just so fun to sit back and just be like,
it is amazing to watch.
It's a whole entertainment.
It is a skill set that
right.
I'm like, why pay for M&M tickets when you could just go see Joe Bodnar?
Well, no, I got what you're saying. And the whole auction process when you're at the auction is entertaining because it's like, all right, what's the next item? What's it going to sell for? And it's like it's a show. It's a real lead in all the way in, from start to finish.
It is worth it to watch you go. And I'm actually excited because I'm going to be up doing Joe's auction.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
On July 31st. I'm
Yep.
like, hey, but
Are you practicing your numbers?
No, I will
for your
not do
329,
that.
I think what I'll do is
329,
like,
I'll
hey.
secretly go after you use the restroom. Here, take over, sir.
$1, $1, $2, $2.
Before.
You know, that's how I had 2 auctioneers for me that they would work for me,
Mhm.
and they weren't auctioneers at the time. They were just helping out. And I said, "Here's the mic. I'll be right back." And that's how one auctioneer got born at my place, and
That's how another one died.
Yes, another one died that way. But that's sometimes just jumping in and doing something is the way to do it. I mean, because
Trial by fire.
Exactly,
Here's
trial
the
by fire.
mic, go.
I know.
Because that's where you get it.
Yeah, no, that's where you get it. And I mean, you can go to auctioneer school and they teach you how to auctioneer, but I personally never done that. I've seen some classes. And
You should be
else.
an adjunct professor at that auctioneer
I guess
school.
I should.
Why not? I mean,
I'd go to Joe Bodnar's School of Auctioneering.
Oh my
Are you
God.
kidding me?
There we go.
just the
It's just
name
an
is
hour-long
awesome.
course. It's
There
just
you go.
like, come on, it's very easy. We got this.
It's a matter of timing. It's what's more. It's not even just calling the numbers. It's really getting in the head of your buyer, getting in the head of that bidder, and knowing, are they going to go again? Do you think they're going to go again? And how to push them and to really convince them to bid another time.
Mine would probably be a little bit worse about that. Come on, you jerk offs, get in there and give us more money. 400.
Give me more money. 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 Sold. There you go.
There you go. The best is that
I want your house. I want your house. I want your house.
Very subliminal.
everybody used to say my filler words. They tried to figure it out. They always said I was saying "fuck it," so I was going "fuck it up, fuck 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 it up," and I was like, I'm not saying that, but I guess it does kind of sound that way.
Why
I don't
not?
know.
I mean, hey, you believe what legends you want to believe, kids.
Exactly.
Oh, God. And it is really interesting to watch though, because you get so wrapped up in the entertainment of it.
Right.
Because this is a great example. My mom stopped in for like 5 minutes during the small auction, and she actually did not go in with the intention of getting anything.
Right.
But then she was texting me and she was like, "This is so much. I'm bidding." And I was like, "What did you buy?" And it was a patch that she got, and it was literally just from the energy of the room.
Right. Right.
And there's something electric about it where it's like, yeah, you're spending money, but you're having so much fun in the process of doing it that you're just like, forget it. I'm doing it.
Yes.
I'm going up. Let's just figure it out.
Yeah, no,
I'll get yelled at tomorrow. I don't care.
I really, when we were doing live sales, really ran a casino is how I used to play it. You have no idea how many people would walk in and be like, my bill's how much? Wait, I thought I was going to spend like 500. I spent like 2,000.
Yeah.
And I do that personally at other auctions. I get involved. I'll get into a bidding war, and before you know it, you could drop $5,000 like that. Not even thinking about it.
So easy. Actually, that's like early eBay was like that. It's like, holy shit. You know
That was dad. My dad was one of
your early adapters, and I have purchased some of Kevin's artwork
Right.
that he was auctioning off, and I mean, I got in there. I'm like, fuck yeah, oh yeah, because Joe's saying fuck it, go, fuck it, yeah, fuck
exactly.
it, yeah. Fuck it again, yes, we will.
Jules isn't in the room.
She's like, yeah, go. No, because
she's egging you on.
Well, she was telling me, here's what your budget is. Go to town. If you can get it for that, go to town. And I'm like, boom, we won. And it was like, awesome. So I've got 2 Green Arrow pages.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And fantastic Green Arrow pages, too, with Mr. Terrific on them.
And if you didn't bid again, you'd be kicking yourself now. But you
Of
know what?
course I
I
would.
should have went under $25.
Of
What
course.
the hell?
Yeah, because that extra 25 put me over the top.
Exactly.
I do have a really cool memory of when I was much younger, and you're buying Christmas presents for your siblings at that age. So my dad and me were planning on getting my sister this like cool Barbie thing, whatever. And I remember watching the bidding process on eBay, and I was just like, this is awesome. But even now I'm looking back and I'm like, I'm glad, because I would probably drop so much money on those auctions just from the entertainment of it alone. Like, it's mine.
eBay.
How dare you outbid me?
Gotcha. eBay is different because it's not as immediate as having a guy spurring you on.
Oh
like,
no,
hey,
110%.
and you feel very connected to, because, and believe me, you're talking to somebody who I do not.
When you make the room buzz, like you feel that.
Yeah, because I don't gamble, so gambling is but this is it's kind of gambling.
It's gambling. No,
It's gambling in a way,
You
know,
but it's not like that. You're breathing that pure oxygen that's making you like really hyper alert.
I was bidding at an auction for jewelry about, I don't know, 8 months ago. My 12-year-old son standing behind me and he's watching me and I'm bidding. He goes, "This is gambling. You're like gambling. Why are you bidding like that?" I said, "Oh, no, it's cheap. I'm going to buy it." But how do you know, Dad? Well, I don't know, but it's cheap.
How do I know?
I gotta. How do you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, he was like, you actually gamble for a living." That's what he said to me. I was cracking up. Maddie had me laughing.
I mean, for you in particular, because you run Bodnar's auctions, so you help people set up auctions. So for you, kind of, it is a little bit because you can sometimes find a collection that is sometimes a little bit better and more lucrative than another one. So there is.
Well, the whole business is gambling. There's no question about it. You like I was talking before we came on today. We scored a big antique collection that could bring close to $1 million. So, and that's a home run. You don't find many $1 million collections out there in the business. You got to go through 50,000 homes to get that one big score.
To get that one holy grail.
Yeah. So, and you're right. I've had auctions. We're talking about these great auctions, but I've had sales where, oh my God, the whole sale ended up bringing $5,000. You lost $5,000, and you go, "What the hell? What the fuck am I doing?" I had one. As a matter of fact, when I first got into business, and I was running some sales at my father's church, and it was upstairs on the second floor, and we hauled all these box lots upstairs, and we're set it all up. And the first sale was good. Then we had another sale 2 weeks later, and a third sale, like nobody showed, and there was like 10 people. So I literally went there, and I went, "Okay, who wants anything?" Sold $10, sold $10, sold $5, all buy, see you later, flipped the table and left and said, "I'm done. I'm never doing this again." I think I lost like $5,000 on that particular auction. And you think about all the work that went involved with that. It was like, holy shit, this is nuts, So it is a gambling. The business is absolutely gambling. And I think that's why I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I can't go to Atlantic City. As much as I love it, trust me.
That's why you can't.
I can't go to Atlantic City. No. Because I got that personality that one more time, one more hit, one more buy,
Double down.
Exactly. Double down.
Have you ever found yourself being in, like, for the times you have gone to AC or anywhere that is like casino oriented, have you ever found yourself kind of having the auctioneer kind of slip in when you're just like, hit me. Like, I don't know. Like, has that ever happened where you're just like, I'm feeling like I'm selling something, but I'm the one buying?
Yeah, no, I would say that because, it's crazy. I was at Caesar's Palace 8 months ago, and some stupid casino slot machine thing automatically downloaded on my smartphone. So, but it's for free. All right. So I've been playing that. I was up to $26 trillion 3 weeks ago. Fake money. I wish it was real money, but fake money. I was at 26 trillion. And my wife makes fun of me because she's like, "You're constantly playing that game. You're addicted. You're addicted." And just like you said, bang, 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 bang. I'm going to double it up, triple it up, quadruple it up. Like right now I'm at 3 trillion. I get all fucking pissed off. I'm done. I lost $20 trillion today. What the fuck? But,
you made me lose my trillions.
So yes, I definitely have that compassion. Compassion to win.
I'm sure Maureen's out there going, "Yeah, you lost 20 trillion, but make me that 3 trillion back in real money. I don't care about the 20, the potential money."
Exactly.
And that's what it is. And I see it all the time coming in and going out. Everything is a potential. Like we send all sorts of stuff to Joe. Stuff that comes in, I have had people.
Before I'd even met you, you were like, we were sending things off to Bodnar
Well,
auctions.
we had to because there's stuff that comes in, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
This is way out of our.
I can't spend like $20,000 for like 4 comic books. Let me send them to Joe. Joe will, get them all set up, and that stuff goes. And if you've got that kind of comic collection, God bless you, because it like you said, 50,000 households until you find that one person who's got like, yeah, I've got an X-Men #1. Yeah, I've got, Fantastic Four signed by Stan Lee.
Exactly.
So you never find that.
It's a very. I mean, look at the Amazing Fantasy 15. There again, I found a copy like that 7 years ago. I guess it was 6 or 7 years ago, and we sold it. And I don't know, I brought 15,000 or 20,000 at the time, ungraded or whatever. And then we hit another one, and I hit 3. So I've hit 3 in the past 7 years, which is pretty amazing. But you're right to find. I can't tell you how many tens of thousands of comic books we've gone through, and even in the last year and a half, we had some great sales, and then the last year has been just like long box after long box after long box, and then our upcoming sale on July 31st.
Oh my God, this is
like the home run again. It's like a great score. There's not an Amazing Fantasy 15, but
there's some stuff.
There's some great stuff in there. I mean, you got what's great about this guy's collection is like literally he went to the comic book store, read it, put it in a bag, put it in a box, and then look at it again. And the whole collection he bought it. It's not like he was last 10 years like going out buying at auctions or finding it.
He bought it for cover price.
Exactly. He paid cover price, bought it, and stuffed it away. And there's so many great like first appearances and there's great full runs because you don't have just the Amazing Spider-Man. You have like starts at number 2 or 1 and goes right up to 200. It's like full runs of comics. So, and that's a score. I mean, that's what keeps me in the business. And you get into that lull where it's just another one. And then you get the one. It's like, all right, I'm back.
So then, this is probably a silly question, but then do you also then follow trends in comics? So, like, for example, when they were finally like, yeah, we're making a Deadpool movie, do you then like kind of in the back of your mind take note if you ever stumble upon Deadpool comics through when you're looking through things?
I personally don't do that because what I'm doing is bringing collections to market, so it depends what's in the collection. But I will say when a Deadpool movie comes up and we're selling a Deadpool and there's a Deadpool issues in there, it's definitely heightened up and it's going to bring 10, 20, 30% more because of a movie. Barbie. Last year when Barbie came out, oof, all Barbie stuff went through the roof. As a matter, I got a Barbie auction coming up. It's actually the day after the comic book sale on August 1st. So
that's awesome.
We have comic books and then we have Barbie, the fashion of Barbie.
I'm just Joe.
There you go. I'll be singing that song on sale day. But there again, pop culture, influences of what's happening. The Trump dolls now are bringing money, or anything else, or Biden dolls are bringing money because of what's going on in the pop culture area. And definitely you'll see swings up and swings down with what's happening in the
Do you have a swing that kind of that stands out in your mind, like how you listed Barbie, for example, like how, oh God, Barbie made Barbie toys explode again? Is there one that like comes to mind where you're like, holy crap, I was not expecting?
That's a good question. I don't know. Barbie is the most recent thing that I could think of that took a swing, because you got to remember, like all the Marvel movies and everything that's been going on in the last 15 years has really create that market tremendous. Like now I'm selling, back in 20 years ago, I would say I'm not selling new toys, whatever. Now I'm selling Sideshow, Gentle Giant, Hot Toys. That stuff's bringing a fortune, all because of the movies and what's going on. But 20 years ago, I would have said, I don't want this. I'm not going to auction this off. That's crazy. That's not real collectibles, but it is. It is, and you do see those kind of upswings when it comes to stuff like that.
But you're also talking about 20 years ago, and it goes by like that.
It does.
And it's so mind-boggling that it is. It's like, oh my God, that was 20 years ago. And you're thinking to yourself, holy crap, 2008 was it was that close, and it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
I was just selling some. I just sold the history. Sure, I just sold the history of Playboy. All right, we had a Playboy collection last week. We had the first issue, and we had the last issue, and everything in between. The guy had every issue. Playboy was 1954. When you think about that, 54 to, 54, I believe it is. So 54, 64, 74, 84, 94.
Yeah,
it's 70 freaking years old. Think about that. And so now I'm looking at the Playboy issue, and they're in great condition. If you're looking in the comic realm, it's probably they were great at a 7 or an 8, what I was looking at. So think about that. You have a paper magazine that was probably fooled around with a lot,
I'm
and
sure,
and,
no
and,
doubt.
and no point intended.
Don't pull that black.
Don't pull black.
As a matter of fact,
Don't-
you know, somebody asked a question like that. As a matter of fact, before the auction, like, can you open the pages and see if they stick or if they have some residue? I swear to God, that was an actual question given to us prior to the auction. But at any
And
rate,
did you do it for him?
yes, we did.
No.
Absolutely.
You're full service.
Exactly. We're full service. So we did that.
Would
and
he pay extra if they were stuck together?
that's what I would say. I would think you would pay extra, but at any rate, but think about that. That's 80-year-old paper. I mean, that's crazy. And even well, the first issue with Marilyn Monroe actually brought 1,700. If you can believe that, yeah, first issue. Then it went right to the shitter. It was like then they're like $20, $30, $50, oh, 200, 300 for those first 2 years. But then after that, they go down to $2 a piece. But then the last issue brought good money too, and that was only printed 2 years ago. Was the last issue. So
when we were doing that thing for Comic Book Men, I had purchased and don't ask me why we did it, but and it wasn't even counted in our stuff,
right?
But we bought a milk crate full of Playboys.
Oh my God.
Penthouse.
Yeah.
And what was in there was the Vanessa Williams issue.
Hey, the centerfold won't open for some reason.
That's because we let Ming have it for 5 minutes. No, they were all, and it was that one. But that one is not legally allowed to be sold because it had, actually the centerfold for the Penthouse Pet of the Month was a young lady named Tracy Lords. Ah. So that was yanked.
I kind of remember. I know that story. Yes,
it was. Yeah, I'm sure. But they did, and that one goes for. You can't get it on eBay. It's illegal to sell it. You have to get it at the black market. So,
and what's interesting, what was interesting about Playboy?
Sure.
What was interesting about Playboy was that we laid out the years and we had it all in order on a table, right? And it was really interesting to see how thin they were in the beginning. And in the 70s, they really exploded. And now the books are getting really big, really big, really big. And then at the end, it's declining. And now they're going to a quarter, doing issues quarterly versus every month. So it was really like the rise and fall of Playboy, even watching it through the magazine and how thick it was to how thin it was. It was real interesting.
In the 70s, there wasn't a lot of maintenance.
So I guess that's true.
Wasn't alive for the secret stash, kids. Ask your dad.
Yeah, ask Pops about that. Hey, Grandpa, what's he talking? Why is he making?
Sit down, son. Let me tell you a story.
Why is he making that buzzy sound?
Oh my God!
Well, people
gather around, children. Yeah, I know. They're ready for. It was Norman Mailer. I swear. The Playboy interview with Stephen King. Boy, can that guy talk. So, yeah, you're like, oh, my God.
I got nothing for that. Oh, boss, I'm so sorry.
But, yeah, no, the different trends that are out there is quite interesting. But I think Barbie would be the most recent, Star Wars would have been another one where it was an upswing when Star Wars came back. Mm-hmm. I think there was a big flux.
Were there any ones that you were like, I wish that there would be an upswing? I remember when it's not big on us because we're not really huge fans, but when that Green Hornet movie came out over a decade ago, we were hoping Green Hornet comics maybe. Will they come? They
didn't have a lot of Green Hornet comics back in the
Green Hornet
comics,
anything.
Yeah, but there's still a secondary market for Green Hornet stuff from the 60s.
Yeah.
In the 60s, absolutely, but and didn't they make cards? I know they made
Batman made cards. Yeah,
they did Batman cards, and those were awesome. Those are ludicrous to find anywhere.
Star Wars, they did cards. There was a whole card thing there in the 80s. That's what I remember.
Oh yeah, 70s
and 80s.
Oh my God, yeah, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Superman 2.
Yep.
Jaws, even Jaws had their own cards.
That's true. Jaws did have their own cards.
Oh, that's so dope. Like trading cards?
Yeah.
Just of what? Like characters and their stats?
It would show you their stats.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Bruce Jr. Oh, man.
like
Oh,
Bruce the Shark
yeah.
kill count. So like, like
Bruce,
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
that
talking
sounds about right. No,
Yeah,
there's
then
like movie stills.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then you're looking at like Chief Brody. He's got 2 kills. Good for him.
You probably got chewing gum in the pack too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh my God, the stuff that would shoot up and like cut the.
Right, yeah, it really
God.
did. It was hard as a rock, man. Oh my God, it was terrible. That
They did a
chewing
thing
gum.
on 30 Rock where oh fuck, what was it? It was about they had a Stacy Keach thing where it's like Bazooka Joe somebody. They gave him a last name. Bazooka Joe Rockenheimer. You know, he went out and he mined this pink rock and he sold it for gum.
That
And you
Bazooka Joe,
liked
man.
it.
That Bazooka Joe was great because he got the little comic strip in there or whatever, but that stuff was terrible at tasting. Oh, I was more of a
You were a Hubba
bubble.
Bubba.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba connoisseur.
Yeah.
I
Grape
gotcha.
Hubba Bubba sounds good to
I'm
me.
with you. I was a
Or fruity.
I was a wild cherry Bubblicious guy.
There you go,
So,
Bubblicious.
Bubble Yum. That's what it was. Bubble Yum.
Now, how often do you have auctions come through where you have items that come up and it tickles your brain because you're just like, I want that so bad.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
how
that.
like does she like do you have to be stopped sometimes?
Like stopped as far as wanting
Like
to buy
wanting
it?
to get it, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, so I think, well, you know, so my problem is I think I'm kind of like a hoarder. At least my wife would say I'm a hoarder. But I see good. I like everything.
You're investing in your personal
I guess-
joy.
Yeah, exactly. You
Is that
know,
what we're calling
investing
that?
in my
Yeah.
own business.
I like
Exactly. No, but you know, I in
That's
everything.
how I justify a lot of these things.
I'm keeping myself lucrative.
Exactly. No, I think every collection that comes up, there's something in there that I admire, you know, and everything, whether it's glassware or antiques or artwork or comics or toys or what have you, I could definitely say there's something that I like about it. You know, there's always something that's interesting, and every collection takes on its own feeling and its own presence of who collected it, you know, and I like to try to collect things like that because from every big collection I've ever sold, I've always tried to buy one piece or so. So like when you go through my house, I'd be like, oh, this came from so-and-so, and this came from the Kevin Smith sale, or this one came from this particular sale. And it kind of shows what my life was over the last 30 years.
Only because you showed me it because it was awesome.
Right.
But like, did a lot of those model trains also come from?
Yeah, no, a lot of those model trains. Yes, I definitely have enough trains to fill this room. It's
He's
in there.
not kidding. He's
get those.
not, folks. Like, I'm looking at the door to the secret stash and I'm like, maybe a little further.
So now there's
vestibule.
Yeah.
now that and there's an instant, like you just said. Did you go too far on something? And
No,
on a train,
maybe.
on a train, there was a subway set. We had this train auction. There's a subway set, and the subway sets they literally, all the doors open and they stop at a station. They'll go, next stop Coney Island, and then the doors close and it goes to the next stop.
Please watch the cab.
Swing
Yeah.
Coney Island.
So they're
Oh, that would
really
be so cool.
they're
Could you do
really
the voice?
cool. I'm sorry.
You should do the voice for that.
Folks, next stop. Coney Island, next stop.
But it would be like this. Coney Island. But at any rate, so it comes up for the sale. They never come up for auction, right? So the thing comes up for auction, and it's me and there's another guy. His name was Brooklyn Joe. He used to come to our auctions all the time. He was a great guy. This guy was a character too. He'd have a cigar in his mouth. He'd come and he wants anybody. Yep, I'm in. Yeah, just like that. He was crazy. He was great to have because that's what I wanted at the sale, stuff like that. So me and him stepped toe to toe on this subway set, and he pushed me to like $1,100 or $1,200. I paid, man. I paid for that set, but brand new is probably it's $1,500, $2,000. But I paid full blown retail.
I know,
which I don't like paying retail. I don't know. I want to pay. I want to pay a quarter of retail, you know. But that's something where I went afterwards and shit. But me and him had a bidding war. Yes, that happened with Brooklyn Joe.
We have a question.
Yes.
From Silver Knight Kyle, I'm curious what the Betty Page 1955/56 Playboy sold for.
Yes. We did sell that. So that issue was in there, and Betty Page was in there. And I'm going to tell you, if you go to bodnarsauction.com, you can click on my past auctions,
There
and you
you
can
go.
see exactly what it sold for, because I don't know off the top of my head.
Silver Kyle.
But it was definitely a couple $100. But if you go to bodnarsauction.com, past auctions, you'll see my auction. It was last week. It was July 10th. You pick that up and you can scroll down and see what everything sold for.
I know there's not really a smoother way to segue into it, but I know that there's one thing me and you we all geeked about it beforehand.
Okay.
It was why we were late to the show.
Yes.
We'll bet on some like Peanuts and Snoopy stuff.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
We'll always put some things aside for Snoopy.
Snoopy is the best.
He's one of my favorite characters of all time.
Right.
Like he's always been someone that like if I am not in a good mood, I will put on something with Snoopy and I know it'll make me happy. But like there's always been something cool with Snoopy printed on it. But our collective favorite thing was the Snoopy ice maker, with the snow cone maker. Because it was always the best.
How do you think I started my auction company? I had to sell snow cones on the side. I sold snow cones to my friends.
That's awesome.
You want a free snow cone? Awesome, but you're sitting to the auction.
Exactly. The snow cone thing was great.
And you're shill bidding for me, you son of a bitch.
Exactly.
You owe me for 3 Snoopy Slurpees. There you go.
It actually worked too, that thing.
Okay.
It did. Like it actually made like good ones.
It did make good ones, and you poured a little syrup on there, what have you, and this, that, But we were talking. There's not many Snoopy things out there that are really collectible.
That's true.
That was they used to have like the Snoopy on top of his doghouse,
right?
Where he's wearing the Red Baron, he's wearing the flight helmet, not the Red Baron, but he's got the flight helmet on,
right?
And
when he would fight, I got.
But he was the propeller would spin and it had a little like tail on there, and it was like so cool. I was like, that is badass.
Right.
One of the cooler ones that I had seen was someone had made a kite, like a 3-dimensional kite of Snoopy's doghouse. So when they're flying it, you see him on top of it in the fighter position, and it's all. I always love.
It's hard to find stuff like that. So, like for Halloween, about 5-6 years ago, I finally me and my kids, we actually painted I put outside, but we made a mural of Snoopy coming up as the Great Pumpkin. Yeah, as the Great Pumpkin, and where he's coming up over the moon.
He's rising out of the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, exactly.
and grab Linus's head and
So if you come by my place in Halloween, I have it out front, but it's literally the size of this wall. We painted it, and it was of
awesome.
that. But you can't find good stuff like that. It's very hard. Like even for Halloween, my wife, we made the ghosts as they go trick or treating. Yeah. So we have 4 ghosts that are coming up, and it's Charlie Brown and
I Got a Rock.
And yeah, exactly, I Got a Rock, and that is exactly it.
And who was the kid with all the holes in it? And I was like, that's got to be Pigpen, but I'm like, no, Pigpen's the one with all the dirt.
No, Pigpen's dirt.
That's Charlie Brown. Charlie I am. I had a little trouble with the scissors.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's Charlie Brown was the one with all the holes. Yeah,
saw that. I'm like, oh my god, here's a kid who's just kind of.
I always thought that was funny. I was like, how did you fuck up that badly? He's Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the new Charlie Brown movie I thought was great. The last one that they put out, they're
doing another.
Really?
Yeah,
Are they really?
It's the same team from the. Well, I loved what they did with that movie because they went into 3D animation, but they did it kind of like Spider-Verse, where it's highly stylized, so it looked like the old 2D cartoons. It's just a step up. But
it was like Viewmasters.
Yeah, so they.
Yeah,
and those don't sell for anything. Goddammit!
Well, yes and no. It depends. Factory sealed stuff, yes, but they don't sell for a ton of money.
I would start stocking them up.
Right, Viewmasters. Yeah,
Viewmaster movies coming.
Well, there you go. That's true. I got you.
I'm not even kidding.
That's a good tip. I don't disagree.
Because follow anything honestly that Mattel Films is doing.
Right.
Like anytime that they've announced like any new film project, I'm just like, okay, I'm listening. Because your first movie out the gate made $1 billion.
Right.
I'll listen to you from now on.
No, I'll tell you, that new Charlie Brown movie, I thought they kept it good. You know what I'm saying? They kept it good.
Yeah.
But there's not many toys. There's not many toys out there that are...
because Charlie Brown doesn't really call to have an action toy set,
Nah.
Although I would buy a Snoopy versus the Red Baron toy set.
Yes, very much so. And what they should have done was the Fisher Price. I would have done a Fisher Price peanut set.
Right. You know
That
what I
would've been
do
awesome.
have? I have bobbleheads that are actually all four characters, and they're from the original 50s, from the 1950s. They're really
Whoa.
cool. You don't really see them that
Like the
often.
tin ones.
They're not even tin. They're composition. They're like made out of
Okay.
like a paper mache almost. They're really cool. They're really cool.
Those aren't the Hummer. No, the H started with H. Hemingford. We had them. We bought them on Comic Book Man with all four of them. It was yeah. It was no Pigpen though.
No, and these were like from the 1950s, 1960s. Yeah, they were
and in
cool.
good shape for what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope.
Because most people like chewed on the back of their head. I mean, it's like you're looking at them like, yeah.
Is this it? I just don't know how to pronounce it.
No, not Hummel. Oh my God, not Hummel. Oh, damn it! I like Hemingford or something.
Schmied.
Silver Knight's calling you out. He's like, it's Hummel, Mike.
I know that. All right.
You know
Prove-
what? It's Trivia
prove it.
King versus
Prove it.
Trivia King.
Prove it, buddy. Prove it. Prove it.
These are the fights I live for.
They were actual. They were like plasticine. They were like much tougher than plastic, but they weren't porcelain.
Right.
So it probably wasn't Hummel. Although, and I do know that it's pronounced Hummel, Silver Knight, Kyle. Thank you. Hummel. Himmel! God in Hummel!
You know, I'm like thinking about all the like hypothetical Charlie Brown toys we could have had because I love those old movies too. So I'm thinking about like, oh, you could have had like a Race for Your Life raft set with all the characters in camp. And I'm like, oh my God, like
Heck, you can make a video game like that, where
Yeah.
you go down and they're sabotaging them.
With the old music.
Exactly.
Like the whole I would love that. I would, have them curse. I mean, seriously.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Peanuts years later. It's Clerks, but with Peanuts characters. Yes. I'm on board. I'm about it.
You'd have them dance and stuff. Yeah.
It would be
all
cool.
Dancing.
It definitely would be cool.
Schroeder would play the piano and Dante would play the piano.
So what other auctions do you have coming up, boss?
So, like I said, July 31st we have the comic book sale.
Mm-hmm.
Great collection.
It's
Fashion.
fantastic. I went through it myself. I was able to like touch stuff.
Yeah, no, it's what's nice about it, like we were saying, full runs of Amazing Spider-Man. I think Fantastic
Four, Incredible Hulk.
Full runs?
Incredible Hulk.
Like
Yeah.
from the
Like
original-
from let's put it this way. He had it from he had sporadic from I think it was 16 to like 30 and then like 31 on. And if I'm not mistaken, and my memory is not quite what it used to be, but
Right, but
it was really, really nice. They had the first Inhumans, first Silver Surfer, first Galactus, first Agatha Harkness.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, and very nice condition.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, the
Gorgeous
condition on
conditions.
it is really, really nice.
Yeah.
So that was.
Well, you guys have collaborated on a couple of auctions in the past, not just through. Well, I mean through the Secret Stash. Like as you said, you recommend people to Joe.
Yeah.
What are some of the like? What's a standout for you guys? Like, what's a memory that you're like, oh, remember that one?
Boy, I don't know. I would say Kevin Smith's sale, but
There you go.
that would be
One, yeah.
that would be the one. It's really hard to say because a couple of deals that came through. I don't remember. I think the amazing Fantasy 15 that came through, I believe, did come from you guys.
Yeah, it was a grandson and grandfather.
Right.
I remember that, and it wasn't perfect because I was like, oh my God, I would love to. I knew it would go for in the 10 to 15, and for me to like throw it out there to.
And I think it brought 20, if I remember correctly. There was that one. That one stands out, and there was another one that I'm pretty sure where the other Amazing 15 came from was down in oh my God, it was on a farm, a tree farm, and it was her father's collection or something like that, and that came through there. But there's twice that Amazing 15, I'm pretty sure, came through.
There is one thing that he almost never forgave me for this one. The hoarder.
Oh yeah, the hoarder. Yes.
We had a toy collection. I got a phone call, and this guy was he's like, well, I lived here with my mom, and it was like 1, 2,
Was this the one where you tell me how to dip in the floor from how heavy it was? Or was that? Or
No, that was something.
that was something else. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Like there were. It was a 5-room. Go away. It was like 5 rooms, including a bathroom and a kitchen.
Yep.
Which were completely filled with toys.
Hoarded.
I mean,
time
he
hoarded.
had. You had to go walk sideways, and he his. Should I doubt. You know what? I'm gonna do it because this is just. It was so bizarre and so, but funny. And I don't mean to make fun of the guy's problems, but in his situation. But he called me up and he's like, "Listen, I want to sell my stuff. Come up and take a look." And I said, "Okay." And I went up and he said, "I have to move in." Joe, was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was quick.
It was very quick.
Yeah, he had to be out in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
He had to be out in 2 weeks, and he needed money quick too. So he said, take a look around." And I was like, "Whoa!"
And you're like, "You ain't moving in 2 weeks."
He did, thanks to this man.
Yeah, and we got it out in 2 weeks.
I was like, "Oh my god!" I said, "What? For me to absorb this collection, I'd have to give you a huge chunk of money." I'm like, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "All right, let's start easy. Let's start with, what do you want to sell me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's break the ice." You know, I'm actually doing like an American Pickers.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. That is
let's
like it
break
is.
the ice.
Yep.
Let's bundle some things together. I'm like, "How about this? And how much do you want for this? How much do you want for this? How much do you want for this?" And most of it was fairly recent stuff.
Yeah, it was mostly newer Marvel and DC.
And stuff that he'd gotten from Sideshow and stuff he'd gotten from Matty Collector, the Mattel stuff, which are highly collectible. But,
oh, yeah.
I mean, he had like 4 of the Legion of Superheroes sets.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
Which folded into the were not open, folks. Which it folds into the old Legion Clubhouse. And it's gorgeous. I had 2 of them myself, and I'm like, let's talk this. How much do you want for this?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I laid out my case. I said, look, when I buy for the Secret Stash, I buy, I can give you a third of what I get. That's what I tell everybody. That's the standard spiel. And he's like, "I don't want to sell it." I'm like, "Dude, we have to start someplace. You have to get it. You know, either you sell it to me or it gets thrown out on the front lawn with your ass. So let's start talking." And I ended up buying like 4 or 5 things from him. But I said, "Look, here's the only way that this is going to make sense is if you sell this all en masse." And I think that the best thing to do is to take it to auction. And the guy I use is Joe Bodnar. Let me get him over here as soon as possible because you need to get the hell out of here. And the really weird thing was it was like, here's my mother's bedroom. And there was a shrine on her, and the bed was there. And there was a shrine right on the bed. And I'm like, he's like, "Oh, don't worry about that." And he's like, and there was toys all around it, but there was the shrine. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Yeah, that's my mother. I made a little shrine to my mother. She died in that bed." I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, I had an entire body creep.
The psycho music started to kick in.
And
it could have been like that. No, he was an interesting character, the guy. The guy was definitely a character. And but that is how it is when you're a hoarder or when you're into a situation and you just you can't get rid of it. It's hard. I get it. I understand it. I can understand that concept.
No, I get it because trust me, I get it. My dad, his thing was vinyl records,
right?
And we didn't know this until we left our home in Howell how much my dad really loved collecting vinyl. We thought we were done packing up the records, and then we go to clean out the last floor of the house, and we find a false wall with 4 or 5 cases full of fucking vinyl.
Right.
And I'm just like, "Dad, what was the situation here?" I wish I could have asked him because we still have no idea why. But just, I understand the mentality of like, sometimes you just get caught up in like I gotta get it.
Absolutely.
I gotta hide it.
I mean, the McFarlane collectibles I just sold in June, and we had our first batch of sales with McFarlane and Movie Maniacs and things like that. That gentleman had 3 storage units filled, packed, and he was living out of his car because he didn't want to live in a house anymore. But he had the 3 storage units where he was paying $1,400 a month to store his toys. And that's the concept. And that the same guy that you're talking about that we worked on together, he was the same way. He did not want to get rid of his toys, but he had to. He had no choice. He was getting thrown out. But yeah, no, that McFarlane stuff, same gig, man. I mean, he had a ton. Now, we just sold 500, 600 lots. We had 5 items per lot. He was buying stuff he was literally buying cases from a comic book store. He would get a case every week. And he had cases of Movie Maniacs and everything else. So we had lots of duplicates. So our first batch of sales was June. Our next batch will probably be in October, November with batch 2. But when I tell you I took 2 truckloads out there, it was 250 long boxes of comics, which I haven't even looked at yet. That's the next thing you're looking at. So that's the next thing, which is going to be mostly Spawn and things of that nature. It's going to be newer, but there's a lot. That was heavy. That broke my back. 250 long boxes of comics was a bitch. Matter of fact, I'll never forget. We filled my trailer. I go to drive away. I was scared to death, man. I'm driving home it's literally like right in this area. And I got an hour drive to South Brunswick, and I'm like, I think I'm about 10,000, 20,000 pounds overweight. I'm in big shit here.
Hour? Make it.
You were like, please don't be a scale. Please don't be a scale. Please don't be a scale.
So he there again, he's living out of his car and had a storage unit full of stuff.
Then does it ever help them, like, or at least, I don't know what I'm trying to phrase this in the right way. Does it ever kind of click with them that, like, that nest egg of things that you saved will then help you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I think no.
Damn.
And I think it's tough because those kind of guys, they know what they paid for it. They can't get the concept that they can't get at least that or just even a little under. You got to keep in mind, like, I'm sure just in my own business when I'm working on commission or even if I was buying outright, you have expenses. I mean, operating costs for my auction are almost $50,000 a month. So you got to figure that kind of stuff in, that even paying a third, sometimes you're not making a whole lot of money. And I mean, my wife just started selling on Etsy, and the first item she sold, it was great. And at the end of the day, it was like 65% that they actually took between the fee and this fee and that fee and that fee. Okay, a lot of people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like 65% on a $20 item or a $30 item was up there. So I was like, well, shit, when people bitch at my 35%, I don't want to hear it, because the reality is there's a lot of expenses out there. And even if you go to say, the biggest thing where I was going is, a lot of people say, well, I'll just sell it myself on eBay.
Good luck.
Yeah, that concept is not the right concept to go. And I'm not trying to say, oh, give it to me because I'm going to make a commission. I truly believe I'm here helping other people and working together for the same thing, common goal, to get the most we can out of it. But
I mean, when someone has 2 weeks to get out of their house, that's fully loaded to the brim with comics, and you do it.
You ain't, but not even that. If you were to take that collection and sell it on eBay, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
There was like 5,000 items in this house, right? There had to be. There was 5,000 items.
More than that.
It was unbelievable.
He bought 2 of everything. He played with one.
Yeah, and one would be out of the box.
On mom's bed.
Exactly.
Why did you say that?
Because it's probably fucking true. That's why. Because it was so insane.
We got a message from Silver Knight. He says, I stand corrected. The Hummels were the porcelain ones.
I was going to say.
The plasticine ones were greenware.
All right, cool. Then I'm like, greenware. There we go. Google is your friend.
All produced by United Feature Syndicate.
Hummels are German antique little figures.
Yes, little pro-Nazi.
Exactly, they are pro-Nazi. And there's an interesting rise because there again, you could have bought them like in souvenir places for $2, $3 a piece. Then in the 80s, they were bringing $500, $1,000, $850.
My mother had a bunch of them.
$5 a piece again. We're at $5 a piece. It's a full cycle of it went whoop and then came all the way down.
Yep, it did a full Beanie Baby.
Yeah, Beanie Baby's another one. Exactly. Beanie Babies, I don't know who's selling them. Somebody's selling them on eBay. I don't believe it's real. It's the Russian mafia.
Probably. That's right. Yeah.
They're really selling something
they're
else.
With
sure, you want that Beanie Baby.
Bean. Yeah, whatever.
Sure, I will sell you 3 pounds of Beanie Baby.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
3
3
beanies.
kilos of Beanie Babies for you.
But yes,
It's so much fun to do the Russian accent.
so I would say the other collection coming up, Star Wars. That's what I'm representing today. I do
I'm
have
about to say that shirt is dope.
Thank you. I actually had these curtains on my bed. I think, not this particular one. I just bought this shirt. But
I
I'm
was about
saying,
to say,
No,
what?
no, 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 no.
You got curtains on your bed.
No,
What
no,
the?
no, wait.
Wow.
Back up. So no, back
Rewind
then
the
you had the bed sheets and you had the curtains. I had this set when I was a kid. That's what I remember.
Oh, that's cool.
But we have a Star Wars sale coming up, and that is at the end of August. And that's all sideshow and mostly newer Star Wars. Not too much on the older Star Wars. We had an older one recently, but mostly newer Star Wars stuff.
Just because we're starting to get towards the end of the show, let the people know like where they could find these auctions. If they wanted to participate in a Joe Bodnar auction.
Not if you want to. You should, folks. And yes, I'm looking at a couple of people out there who are on my
I see
reserve
you,
list.
Silver Knight Kyle. Come on.
When I say when Joe says that these comic books, it's a one owner lot. It is.
Yes.
And
No smoking home.
amazing. It was a no smoking home. And these, I'm telling you, the condition, I went conservative on these, and I think you'll appreciate that. I went conservative on these, and so you're gonna get some deals.
Yeah, we know because Mike did come in and I don't want to say we graded them, but we gave a condition report on all of them, which is something I generally don't do, but we did it for this collection because they definitely warrant it. It's very, very nice collection.
Oh, yeah.
But BodnarsAuction.com. You could Google Bodnar's Auction. I'm definitely going to come up in any kind of Google search or anything of that nature. But you go to BodnarsAuction.com. We have our own bidding platform on our website where you would go. You literally type in your name, put in an email address. You've registered to bid. Once you're registered to bid, then you create an account rather. Then you register to bid. You put in your credit card, give your information of where you live and everything else. You bid online, and once you bid online, you could either local pickup. So if you're from the state of New Jersey and you want to come down and pick up from us, that's fine. Monmouth Junction, New Jersey. We do pickups 3 days after the sale, and we ship. So everything does get shipped out. We do have a shipping department that ships individual comics, and if we can't handle it, we send it out to a UPS store to have it shipped. So BodnarsAuction.com is where you would go. You just Google that. Right now, bidding is on right now. As a matter of fact, the Hulk 181 is at $2,000, I believe, right now.
Wow.
So that's where we're at on that.
I'm looking at somebody who just commented that.
Someone's like, I'm currently in a bidding war for the first appearance of Poison Ivy. Stop bidding whoever's bidding against me.
But yes, you can right now. Pre-bidding's on, so the sale is open. All bids start at $10, and once people can bid, you can leave bids, and the computer bids for you. Or you can bid live on sale day on July 31st, where we do it, and you can actually go online and bid live as we're bidding it live. So, we have a live broadcast just like we're doing with this podcast right here. But yes, if you go on there, you can see where certain things are. Some things are just at $10, and then some things are in the 200s and 300s, and some things don't even have bids just yet.
Yet.
Exactly.
Yet. There's some deals to be had here, folks. So yeah. Hey, man, Joe, thank you so much for being on.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, man. Good seeing you guys. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you guys for tuning into another episode live from the Secret Stash. If you want to check out Joe Bodnar Auctions, go to bodnarauctions.com. We put the links.
Bodnar.
Bodnar. Yeah, that's what I said.
Said Bodnar.
I said Bodnar. I corrected
Bodnar.
myself.
That a boy.
I always say you can call me anything as long as you're giving me your money.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Give that man his money. We've got
Go to EnglebertHumperdinck.com then.
Yeah, don't do that. Seriously. We don't want to give that guy any business. Next week, tune in because we've got another special guest host. We're going to be going a little bit earlier next week. So
We'll be on it around 5-ish. 5-ish.
So yeah, the store will be open, and it's going to be a lot of fun because we've got very special guest host, and we'll be doing some stuff about that as well. And hey, folks, come. Actually, we've got Vulgarthon coming up.
We got Vulgarthon in 2 weeks, right?
So come visit us at the Secret Stash.
Come say hello.
Say hi to Mikey. Say hi to Christian. You're going to be at the Vulgarthon. So You'll be over there.
I'll
Pardon
be
me. Oh, my
I'll be
goodness.
there. So
You should
come
stop
say
by
hello.
here too. Damn, I got the hiccups now.
Let's go. And we gonna say goodnight.
All right, I think I got rid of them.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Hey kids, we're live at the secret stash with Mike, Julia, and Christian. It's the Hella Bash. Tune in and check out the podcast. We got the nerd button on repeat and we're gonna smash. Come on in and I assure you that we're open shoe polish on our signs cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew? You know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bring in all the big guns when we coming through.